What's going on, everybody? This is JK-47 here. My partner, Derek DeSorbo, will be jumping in. He's not in right now due to the fact that my grandmother, who lives with us, has stage 4 cancer. It spread to her bones, lymph nodes. It started off as breast cancer, but now it's also in her lungs as well. So we caught it in somewhat of a time. But she's experiencing a lot of pain. So right now, Derek is upstairs, getting her situated, getting her comfortable, and then he's gonna hop in. But I have something extremely exciting to talk about right now. JK-47 Paranormal Investigations was on maybe like a month and a half ago. John Keyworth, who runs JK-47, is just an amazing individual. The stuff that he does for people, he goes to homes all across the country and basically gets rid of entities that are unwanted in somebody's house. And the best part about it is that he loves his work so much that he does it off of his own dime. He doesn't ask, he doesn't ask for like $300 for me to show up and get rid of your ghost. No, he goes there on his own and he finds out who needs help. He goes there, he spends his own money, doesn't ask for a single thing from them. If he's lucky, he might ask for a glass of water, but I highly doubt he even does that. He's a very humble individual. So let me bring him on right now. This is John Keyworth of JK-47 Paranormal Investigations. John, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, AJ? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. How's the weather down there?
It's getting better. It rained a few times, so all the smoke's going down. That was a killer on the lungs.
Oh, I can imagine, man. I can totally imagine. I can imagine it's probably crazy, right?
Yeah, man. I had to stay inside as much as possible just because I have asthma, and it really acts up when there's smoke and stuff in the air. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I don't blame you. Hey, so the first thing I wanted to talk about, before we get into these methods of removing these entities, one thing I want to talk about is this California investigation.
yeah,
You have
bro.
to tell me a little bit about it, my friend. Because I got to see that was one of the ones you put up on YouTube, correct? That was in what is it? One of the newest ones, I want to say.
That was my latest one.
Yeah,
I
your
just
latest
got
one.
back from. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
about 2 weeks ago. I went out to her house and where she lived, there's a really old graveyard that apparently got moved, and not all the graves got moved and stuff. It was about, I want to say, 40 acres. So
Oh,
it's like 25 city blocks.
oh wow.
So I had to map out, and she was right on the edge of that. So like her whole neighborhood, like we drove around in her car with the spirit box, and you could just hear voices coming out. It was crazy. It was stuff that wasn't on the video, but like we asked as we were driving, we asked any spirit to turn off a light, and one of the lights went out on the street. It was really crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, so
No.
I'm sure there's more people there that need help, um, but yeah, I mean the biggest thing was when I went live on Facebook. On command, the ghost ball went off, or the cat ball went off, and it went off like 7 times. If anybody hasn't watched the video, it was a challenge. But the one thing that was in common with the California investigation and the Virginia investigation, which was the one before that, I asked the spirits on the spirit box, are they getting weak because of the method that I used? And they
Mhm.
said yes. So
Wow.
they flat out said that, they're getting weak and ready to move on. So
Wow. That's
it
awesome.
was pretty exciting stuff, man.
Yeah. Hold on one sec. I want to
Yeah.
tell Derek a little bit about that cat ball because I got to see the video. But Derek, I didn't get to show Derek the video. So can you please like a little reiterate that a little bit and tell him how it went down? I thought it
Yeah.
was pretty neat.
So on all my investigations, I found it to be a very successful tool to let me know that there's an entity in the room. So a cat ball. Let me see if I can grab one here. Hold on. So the cat ball, you turn
Mhm.
it on with this red button here,
Yeah.
and then it does its preview thing to let you know it's working. And then what I'll do is I'll set it in an area where it can't be manipulated by any type of vibration or any
Yep.
type of wind. And if you watch the videos, it goes off. It takes a lot to set these off. So the fact that when they go off, I know there's something there and I can talk to it and
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
of course.
I really pay attention to my own body, because it's a great ghost detector as far as, your hair rising up, your ears popping, even on my phone when it gets out of focus, which is really rare.
Yep.
That's excellent triggers to know that there's something there.
It's crazy because when I was watching that cat ball video, it like you were like, I couldn't see the cat ball because it was obviously dark. But when you were like, "Oh, can you turn the ball on?" Now I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, it's just a ball, like that's gonna light up. It's gonna be a little red light." And then all of a sudden, when you said it and it was on command, it was amazing. Like the whole entire room lit up. That's how light that ball was. I mean, it was amazing.
It's really light, man. And right at that point, the hairs of my arms and the back of my neck stood up. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
From the spirit box session from earlier in the day, like I heard the little girl's voice, but I also heard like a man's voice too. So I knew there was two of them. I knew there was one like right by me, just messing with me as I'm recording, and the other one was hitting the ball. So it was interesting.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh,
What I asked before I forgot was, now you said you use your body. Obviously, all of us investigators use our body. It's the best paranormal tool that we have. Um, but what are some things that happen to you when you know a spirit is around you? Because for me, it's probably completely different than it is for you. So I want to know what you feel compared to what I feel.
Oh man, with my method and stuff, I protect myself. We'll get into that later, but the main thing that still happens, whether or not I have that barrier on, is my hairs will stand up on my arms. That's my number one contributor, and then I'll start to pay attention to my phone, and I'll see it go in and out of focus. So then I'll know for 100% sure that it's there. And I'm able to catch these things because people have been living with them for years, so it's obvious something's there, so that's why I've been so lucky in getting all this video evidence. So
Yeah. No, definitely. Now, do you think that these spirits that are there, do you think that they're kind of like energy vampires where they're just like waiting around and sucking the energy out of the living that are living there, or you just feel they're just hanging out?
all these entities, from my first investigation to the California one, 100% they draw off of our fear. You just gotta be brave. I've never heard of anybody actually dying from a ghost attack. I mean, I've heard you get scratched and stuff, and that's the frame set that I go in with.
Yep.
It smack me around if it's really violent. I haven't dealt with that yet, but hopefully I'll catch that on camera. That'd be sweet. In a fist fight with the ghost.
Yep. That's awesome. You want to ask a question because I was cutting you off.
Buddy, it is way too early for me to be asking.
Way too early. All right.
You're the quiet one there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
It takes me about 45 minutes to warm up.
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about the California investigation. Like, what was your conclusion of? Well, was your conclusion different than from what you thought in the beginning? I should say.
Yeah, the strange coincidence with all my cases is that the entities have been tied to ashes. There's always been somebody's ashes in the house.
Ooh.
And like in Michigan, her mom, there was no ashes there, but her mom's spirit was there, and they just get rid of it. But in the California investigation, I knew that her brother or her uncle's ashes were in the house, so we set those up by the cat ball and stuff. But the weird thing was when I first got there and I did the spirit box, it wasn't a man's voice speaking out. It was a little girl, so that's what surprised me.
You
then-
think it was? You think it was a negative entity trying to lure you in some way? Because I've heard many. I've had a couple cases like that where they've tried to lure me in by using children, even my friends' voices. They've mimicked my friends' voices before. So I do think that might have been a case there.
No, I really think it was an actual little girl based off of the experiences that were explained to me by her daughter and her niece
Okay.
that live in the house, and it seemed a little more playful than fearful. But it still gets that energy off of the fear. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the only way they know to stay alive. So
Yeah. It's crazy to think about, like what is it about the fear? I mean, I understand we let energy out when we're afraid, but it's like, what is it about the fear? Why can't they take our energy without that? You know what I mean? Without scaring us. And I
Right. Well,
wonder.
the human body, it will burn 4,000 calories in 1 hour. Just doing normal activity, which is enough to power a 100-watt light bulb.
Oh,
For
yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah.
So that energy is really imperative to them, and especially with older spirits, they don't know a lot about our technology, so that's why they'll really focus on the people to draw that energy off of you.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that 100%. Yeah.
Now you also you investigated a zoo too while you were out there.
Yeah. So we got done a little early. I did a little better than I thought. So we had time to go on a family ghost hunt. We went to the old LA Zoo. I got a lot of messages on that saying, "Oh, the Griffith Park is really haunted and spooky. They've seen people run out of there, and it's right next to the zoo." I didn't really think too much of that until after the fact. So it was kind of cool that I got to see it. I swear that's the place that old Dragnet movie was filmed with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks. It was awesome. It was an awesome experience. So I thank them for that.
How did you actually get in there? Or actually get the opportunity to
You
get in
can actually go anytime. It's open to the public. So
there? Oh, no kidding.
yeah,
Yeah, one of those here too.
really It was really cool. The thing that sucked was the wildfires were going on, so it really messed with my lungs the next day. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Not to stop you, but right over here on the right of the computer, I wish I could show you, but the right of the computer, it's gone now. But there was an orb that just went from the floor straight up to the ceiling. That was pretty crazy. I saw it literally with my own eyes. It was a round ball, and it was just like it looked like kind of like a clear, like a smoke almost.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Somebody there saying hi, saying, "Oh, the JK-47 is in the house."
Down here, it happens all the time. All the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is the most active part of my house. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The most captivating evidence that I caught was at that Michigan investigation. I got it all over my Facebook. Where that orb comes out of the closet. And
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was within the first hour of being in the house, man. Like,
Wow.
yeah. So I totally understand, and I'm just glad I protected myself, and we'll get into that. So.
No, definitely. Well, hey, that brings me to my second point. The second point I wanted to bring up, we were talking about investigations that you've done in the past so far. You're now 5 for 5 or 6 for 6.
5 for 5, baby.
5, baby. Awesome. People, what he's saying when he means he's 5 for 5, he means that he is saying that he has successfully cleared a home, basically, of an entity without them coming back, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's what he means by 5 for 5. He recently started this journey about how long ago, John, would you say you started this journey?
My first case was in the beginning of July. I want to say July 9th.
Okay, 2020, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So, already July 20, you said July 20th?
The first week. So I did 2 in July and 2 this month. So.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I was going to say, for like about a month's time, I mean, that's an awesome record to already have, 5 for 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into his methods. But one thing I wanted to ask him, the second point I wanted to get into was about future investigations. You know, what do you have coming up? Anything more serious than what you've already done?
Yeah, so this next one is going to be pretty serious. She lives in Arizona. I think I sent you the videos. You might have reviewed them.
Yeah, no, yeah.
There's something really dark in her home that has tried to pick up her baby.
Oh,
It's manifested in the baby's room and the motion sensitive cameras. I mean, it's a high tech system, and it set it off. And as the entity moved through the gate, you could see the sock on the gate move. She just took a picture yesterday, actually, of a hand she captured, and it's the room I'll be staying in. So there's this hand, ghost hand, and there's this loud bang that you hear. So I'm excited to help them out. I just got to stay positive.
I tell you what, the one thing that made me so upset about watching that video, man, was this spirit is messing with that little tiny baby.
Yeah,
You know, man, like that baby is what, maybe a year, 2 years old.
yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like, and I understand that babies are the purest, and closest to God, quote unquote, because they're the purest without any sin or anything at the moment. But the thing is that like I wonder what it is about children that these spirits are attracted to, because that spirit that you showed me on that video was very attracted to that baby. And I
yeah.
want to know what it is. Is it the energy? Because like the baby's energy is high when they're younger, and then we start losing energy. Like I wonder, like I don't know what your theory is on it. Like what's your theory?
So knowing where she lives in the middle of nowhere. She's the only home like for miles around. So number one, the entity has nowhere else to go. Number two, children and moms tend to release more fear than the father would. So
Of course, yep.
typically children and the moms get the brunt of it, or the females in the house. But she also has ashes in the house. It's her grandmother's, and I think her grandmother is there protecting her. I think it'd be a lot worse if her grandmother wasn't there. So, but
Yeah.
this is all going into it. But based off of the videos and stuff, I'll attach them onto the official investigation when I post it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my theories going in. She smells rotting smells, so it's going to be a lot like the investigation in Michigan. I'll probably have to trap it in something and get
Yeah.
it that way. So
Now the rotting flesh and everything like that, that's a code sign for demonic, without a doubt. I've had so many cases where there's been like that, where it's just been a rotting flesh smell. And it's like I had it at my old house when I lived with my grandmother in her house, and we would get this weird smell, and it wasn't just rotting flesh we get like a bunch of different.
yeah, it's like a musty, like
Yeah,
mold type of
yeah,
unwelcome smell. Yeah.
that's absolutely nasty. One thing I want to do, if I can bring it up, is I want to show everybody this video that you sent me of the baby. Let me see if I can find it. Here, hold on. Here's one of the okay, here's the ghost hand. I'm gonna show everyone the ghost hand if you don't mind.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
That was caught on there. Hold on, let me share my screen. Everyone, this is a picture that go ahead. You want to explain this picture? I'm gonna put it up on the screen and then you explain it.
Yeah, so my client messaged me yesterday saying that she's getting a lot of activity in the room I'll be staying in, and he was able to slow the actual footage down, and she got a great catch, man. There's no way that's any type of bug. It's a actual hand, and
Yeah.
then she sent one shortly after that you can hear a bang, and she was the only one in the house. So it's gonna, that bed right there is where I'll be sleeping.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm stoked, man.
hey, the hand, if you look at it, the hand's waving at you. It's saying, John, come
Yeah,
here.
come on in.
Yeah, you could see that all right though?
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah,
Oh, cool. So
sure.
one other thing I wanted to show everybody. Hold on, let me see if I can get to it. I really want to show everybody that
The baby video, yeah.
Video, because that thing, man, touched my heart. Like, to watch this child, little tiny baby, get, you know, basically like harassed by this spirit was just, I don't know, it was crazy. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
no, I knew I had to get there as quick as I could. So
it. I know, definitely. All right, cool. I got him right here. Let me share my screen real quick. Hold on one second.
yeah, I think it's that one there. Yeah.
Here's one of them.
You'll see the dark mist right there by the baby, and you'll see the baby start to move.
All right, I'm going to show it one more time. All right, so hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right there.
there,
You
boom.
see that. Yeah.
And the baby starts to move. Here, I'll do it one more time. Watch right here in this area. Look at that.
Wow,
Boom.
there it is.
Yeah. It literally looks like it covers him.
And there's also a shadow shortly after you see the entity dissipate next to that gate. It kind of
Wow.
expands that shadow. Like, it's a big round thing, so you know it has a lot of energy. It's probably been there for a while, if I had to guess. Because along with my theories, you know, the darker the entity, the longer it's been dead. So the more
Yeah.
the
Here's
more experience it has. So.
the second video. Look at this.
The
The
light
light
turns
off.
off. Yeah. Turns
Look at
back on. What did you see the sock move on the gate there?
Hold on. I'm going to play it again. Hold on. It's
Yeah,
playing.
right after the light turns on, you'll see the sock move on that gate, the top. Right
Oh,
there.
right here. Yep, right here. Okay, it's going to play. It's going to play again. Here we go. Everyone watch this stock right here.
Once it turns on there.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh, man.
Yeah.
Wild, dude. Hold on. Watch this. I got to play one more time. It just flicks up.
Yeah. The fan's not on, nothing's on.
Yeah, ready? Oh, my gosh.
And this was actually, I think it was before that other video, because the one after, like, the dad comes in and the mom comes in because the baby was just crying. So I can't put up with that, man. I can't let that happen to anybody.
No, definitely not. No, and especially not a child of all things.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. I mean, I this for a spirit to have that much power to affect the physical plane, people don't realize how much energy that actually takes. And for them, it takes a very, very lot. So that means that this thing that you're going up against has a lot of energy,
Strength.
a lot of strength, and can literally do whatever you want it to do. And that's a good thing or that's a bad thing. But I'll be with you, my friend. I'll be praying for you. And I know you're going to conquer it. I know you'll figure out a way to trap it because you always do.
Oh, man, I'm gonna go toe to toe with it. I'm gonna be very enticing to it. I'm not gonna let it bother that family anymore.
So with all these videos that I just showed, right? And just the stuff we're talking about, I know there's people out there that are like, you guys are crazy. This is all fake, blah, 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 blah. What do you do when you're dealing with skeptics?
So the biggest thing, you know, like I was on the radio talk show last week with local AM radio, and they were all skeptics, and you know, I stay calm. You know, I'm the one that's going into these experiences. I can understand them not understanding what's going on. You know, whether or not it's fear of the unexplained, or they just don't believe. You know, the biggest thing I'll ask. I wanted to ask him, but I didn't know if it was right on air. You know, it was like, well, do you believe in God? You know, do you believe in the Holy Ghost? Okay, well, if you do, then you believe in ghosts. You know, and you know, whether or not it's a positive or negative, there's always going to be that opposite. You know, like the yin and yang. There's going to be positive spirits, like in the Michigan investigation that helped me, you know, capture this evil one. You know, you just got to know and feel in your heart and be open to it, you know, to really grasp that aspect. Like, you know, like I said, man, it's something that you don't really believe in until it happens to you, you know. And these people that move into these houses, you know, probably never believed in it until they're stuck living there for 5, 10 years, and they deal with it every day, you know. And I see it all the time on Facebook, and it really makes me mad that people sit there and make fun of these people, or make fun of other investigators. Like, there was an investigator in Alabama. He got a great catch of an orb, and this other one just started laying into him. No, it's a bug. It's a bug. I'm like, well, how does the bug disappear into the door when there's still like another inch of video footage that it could have exited through the camera, you know? And
Well, listen to this. I had a lady yesterday. Okay, we use an app called Necrophonic, right? And it's made by Keith Weldon.
yeah, I believe in that one. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. We've gotten some awesome captures on it, like some really crazy captures. And I posted an evidence video in one of the paranormal groups. And as we're speaking right now about people who bash other people in these groups and stuff, instead of being happy for them or anything, this lady decides to like right underneath my evidence video and go, she basically said that it was completely fake, that the the device itself will spit out words um, over time, and obviously some will make sense. And she said that basically she had one of the designers in her paranormal group and all this stuff. So I contact, the people who I know made it. They're like, we have no idea who this lady is. And the best part is that she said that there's words in the device. Now, if you go into that, just going to go look at this thing, like on Google Play, it tells you straight up there is no words. Okay,
Right,
but talking to designers, they're like, listen, there's only phonemes in here, like ah, oh, e, all that kind of stuff. There is no absolute words. So I showed him the evidence video, and it says it was me, Derek, my aunt, and my grandmother. We were all in the room, and I said, "All right, good night, my friends." And I
yeah,
was
I saw that one.
yeah, that one, and all of a sudden it says, "Good night, everybody."
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy, and then after the fact, right, the lady goes and watches the video, and she goes, "Oh my gosh," she goes, "Yeah, that was a really good capture." She goes, watched the video before, and it made me think when you said that, and I'm like, half the people that are come on these groups, they don't give anybody a chance, and they just automatically just say, "Oh no, I'm not a believer, and this is fake," and that's it. But if they took time and they gave somebody a chance, you never know. You may be able to, something may change your heart and you may believe in the afterlife. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
get what you're
like
saying.
the one guy that was hitting on that other guy, you know, like I'm showing him the respect by not saying his name or his investigative company. You know, I'm giving him that. You know, I'm here live on the internet. You know, and I'm not bashing him, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, he said he was like 15 years of photography experience. I looked at his thing. He worked fixing copy machines for 15 years. You know, and
Yeah.
you know, I understand, and he's been doing it for a long time. But you know, if you've been doing it that long, you got to show the people respect. Help them along. You know, whatever you got to do. You just don't sit there and bash people because you haven't caught anything. You know.
You know what's crazy is that the lady that I got into the disagreement with, she said she's been in a paranormal group for over 20 years. And the last thing I said to her was, you for someone who's in a paranormal group for 20 years, you should really show a little bit more respect to people who aren't at your level, so that you can maybe teach them instead of bash them. And after that, she was the nicest person I ever met. She wanted to, like, teach me some things and stuff, which I didn't have the time or day to do it because I was a little upset with the way that I was approached. But
Right.
I think, and this paranormal thing, I think if everyone in the field worked together instead of bashing each other's evidence and everything, I believe that we would get so far in proving something other than what's here in front of us, and like
Right.
you already haven't. But if we can get everybody to do that, I think that would be amazing instead of fighting each other, you know?
Yeah, and it's the people like that do give the honest ones like a bad name. You know, Like a lot of the TV shows, I understand they have to give that thrill so they get their ratings, you know.
Yeah.
And I would be more respectful to a show, you know, hey, we didn't catch anything tonight, but here's everything we did. And, you know, they help the audience learn and just were honest about it, as opposed to, oh my God, I heard the sound, or
Yeah.
you know, hold their phone up to the K2 meter so it goes berserk. You know, it's the little things like that, you know. And the thing that irritated me about this gentleman is that he charges people $75 to teach them how to ghost hunt, and then they have to go on 10 ghost hunts with him before he can employ them. You know, and
Yeah.
That's kind of
that
strange.
inspired me to, you know, start making how-to videos. You know, because like you said, I'm doing this out of my own pocket, man. And I'll be honest, I'm running low on funds, so you know, I had to set up a GoFundMe to get some stuff taken care of, and you know, I'm just hoping that my love will emanate onto others, and that's why I want to share my method with people, because it's really going to help them gather a lot more evidence, and I'll explain that when you're ready.
So, now question: a lady named Megan 10K. I can't say her last name. I apologize, Megan. I'm terrible with names. I'm gonna put on the screen what she wrote. So hold on.
Just gotta say,
It says after the woken up, and let me know when you get to the scaring him, and then I'll let it go.
hasn't woken up screaming. We're ready for you. Yeah, this is my Arizona client. So
Awesome. Well, Megan, I'm happy that he's coming there, and I'm happy that he's going to take care of this for you. You're going to see he's a humble guy. He's a great dude, and he's willing to stay with you as long as it takes to get rid of that. That's one thing I know about him. He's not like normal investigators that'll come, get their money, and leave. No, this guy comes without asking for any money, and he stays as long as it needs to be stayed for. So you picked a great team to help you with all this, Megan. I wish you the best. Please write to us and let us know how everything goes. I'm sure I'll talk to John, but please leave a comment on the Coverage Circle Paranormal podcast page when you get a chance, when this is all over, and hopefully we can get some great results from you saying that John
6 for 6.
John 6 for 6.
5 for 5. I will be 6 for 6.
Right now, when
You count the chickens before they hatch, man.
so okay, John, this is what I want. I've been waiting for this all night, but I had to ask you those couple of points. Come on, man, reveal some of your methods to us because I'm dying to hear it.
All right, world, are you ready? So just to let you know, I'll be I got YouTube loaded up. My actual how-to video will release right after this is over at 7 p.m. So it'll be on my YouTube channel. It's counting down. I've been watching it all day, just excited. So I'll share it with you now. So whoever's watching gets the sneak preview. So,
All right.
so the biggest thing that I've learned, you know, throughout the 2 years of dedicated research, you know, what has been successful in eliminating entities? You know, I looked at Catholic religion, I looked at witches, I looked at spiritualists, and everything that they had in common was this, man, was salt.
Yep.
Okay. So like Catholic religion will say, put it in the four corners of your house. Witches will do a circle around them so they're protected. So I was thinking, how can we get this so that the entities don't just float over it, you know? Because if you put it at the doorway, it's just going to float over it, you know? And the sage stuff, you know, I did a lot of research on the Indians, from the Aztecs, you know, on when the sage started, you know, why it sometimes works. And, you know, talking to a lot of my clients that did sage, you know, it came back because the smoke in the air, it doesn't stay there. You know, once it's gone, the entity can come back. So
I'm going to say to you.
So
I was going to say, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What was your question, brother?
No, there was no question. I was just saying that's what I was going to say to you. Like, you know, it doesn't stay there that long, so it dissipates after a while. So I wanted to know, You know,
Right. So even like doing smudging, unless you smudged your whole wall or you smudged the whole door, or the whole room, it's not gonna work, man.
Yeah.
So it's not a fact that if I don't believe that the sage works, I just believe it pisses them off more from everything I've gathered in the last 5 cases. And even though I have 4 videos, the 5th case I had to do pretty much virtually. That was my client in Canada.
Yeah,
So
no,
I had to walk her through step by step on what to do, and while we were Facebooking back and forth, and I'm still working with her because I'm not there, so it still pops up here and there. But we got to make sure we get every aspect. So,
of course.
with the salt, the one thing, what can we add to make it stay where we want it to stay? So I add water. So when you make salt water, when you spray it on the wall, it makes a coat. It makes a salt barrier. So you're protected, man. There's nothing that will get into you, because as the water dries, it leaves that salt on you. You'll have a salt barrier.
Now here's the one question.
Yeah.
When you put the salt in the bottle, right, and you have the bottle laying on the dresser and you're not using it, and then you go to like a investigation, you always shake it up before you use it to get the salt mixed in the water, or you just say screw it and you just squirt it? That's the only reason why I asked that question, is because salt does sit at the bottom, right?
Yeah. No, it will accumulate. You just shake it up, man, and it will do its job. But
Okay.
so like my room I have here. So what I'll do, like, let's say this is the house I'm investigating.
Yeah.
And we got our trusty ghost here.
Yep.
I haven't named him yet. We'll figure out a name, but so what I'll do is, I'll come in, I'll be like, okay, I feel there's something here, so let's make sure it stays in here. So I'll shut the door, I'll spray the door, I'll spray the walls to the other rooms. I'll completely seal off this room. Like if there's an attic, I have to spray this, spray the ceiling, make sure it stays in the room.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I leave, I'll shut the door, spray the outside of the door, go into the surrounding rooms, spray those walls first to make sure it stays in here.
Wow.
But like a wall going to the outside, I'll make sure to get every square inch of that wall so that the entity doesn't have anywhere to go. Okay. So then what I'll do is go spray the rest of the house. But before I go into any home, what I do is I'll make a barrier around myself. I'll spray myself.
Smart.
Because like when divers go in with sharks, they have a cage. They protect themselves.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Ramsey. Unless you're Ocean Ramsey and you're crazy and you jump in with 22-foot great white sharks without a cage.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why nothing comes home with me. That's why my home's safe. My family's safe.
Amen to that.
Take those precautions. I didn't know what I was getting into. I went straight to Michigan just on a hunch, man. Wow. I was the first one to test a shark suit. Because whatever was there could have easily followed me home if I didn't do it right, if I didn't believe in myself. So, that was the main thing for me.
Sorry, one question. Do you think that it's the salt that's stopping the entity from following you, or do you believe that it's the intent of what you're doing?
It's the salt, man.
You really think?
I've gone into the house, like after Michigan, I went in, not sprayed, and I'll hear voices. I'll hear stuff. There's something that the entities do, I believe, to our nervous system to make us hear these voices, to see these things in the corner of our eyes. And I found out that, oh shoot, I forgot to spray. That's why this is happening. And I'll spray real quick, and all that's gone, man. Like, yeah, I'll challenge anybody. I'll challenge anything. I'll go anywhere. as long as I have that and I spray myself, I get you crazy evidence. I can go in the chart. They're not going to bother me.
Oh, I bet, dude. I wouldn't put your method past you at all. That's for sure. Because you're 5'5", dude, and also you don't have. I mean, you don't have anything in your home. I mean, if you had something in your home, I'm pretty sure your wife would be on this stream right now saying, "That's it. You're done. No more ghost stuff."
And she's been my rock, man. You know, you just gotta keep that love in your heart and that positive attitude, you know, and I thank her all the time, you know, for letting me go help these people, you know, because I'm losing time from my kids, I'm losing time from her, and when I get home, you know, that's my favorite time, you know, because I missed her so much, and it just reassures that love in our house. So
yes, of course. Hey, one thing before you keep going, tell everybody where they can see you on your website. Tell everybody your website. I apologize, I said that wrong. Tell everybody your website so that they can follow you.
So it's www.JK-47 paranormalinvestigations.com. It's the same thing on my Facebook. I'm almost up to 1,700 followers. And my YouTube, I got last time I checked, was 107 subscribers. So if you watch those videos, hit that subscribe button for me, because, you know, it doesn't cost you anything. Consider it a virtual donation, you know, because the more subscribers you get and I get, you know, I'm here to help you guys too, because I really believe in what you're doing. You guys reach out to me, and we just kind of mesh, man. And I want to help you guys out as much as I can. I'll come on as much as you want, and I'll show you some.
Appreciate that. Okay, so listen, keep going with what you're saying. So we got the adding the salt to the water. You spray the home down. You spray the area down. You trap it inside the area. So what do you?
The mixture. This is a half-gallon misting sprayer. So you'll see it says misting sprayer.
Yeah.
Before, I was using just a regular spray bottle, and it would just spit it out everywhere. This is the best thing to get. You can get it at like Tractor Supply or Home Depot. You know, I imagine if I get invited to an insane asylum or a sanctuary that somebody wants to get rid of stuff, I'm going to need one of those backpack sprayers just to do the whole floor, you know. But it's all about the mixture. So before I go in, you know, I'll think about, okay, so what's going on? How old is the spirit? You know, because the spirit, I'll need more salt in there. So, but the typical mixture I'll do is just basic seawater, which is 2 tablespoons of salt to 1 cup of water. And I'll just do that until it's full. But if it's the activity is still there, still increasing, then I'll just add more salt into it, so I get a thicker barrier.
Now, what do you do after you trap the entity in a room?
I gather my evidence. So all the evidence that you see in my videos, I've managed to clear the rest of the house and trap them into this area. That's why I know where to put my cat balls. That's where I know to do the spirit box sessions, because it's right there. And the coolest thing, like I said, if you look at the Virginia investigation and the California investigation, in the spirit box session, I asked the entities, I'm like, so is my salt barrier making you weak? And they both replied yes.
Wow.
So doing that, and I let them know, okay, I'm going to give you about a half hour to an hour to let me know that you're ready to move on. Go ahead and speak through the spirit box. You can manipulate the balls. It's your chance to tell me your story. You know, if there's something you want me to figure out, you know, speak.
I tell you what, man, that's powerful. That's powerful for them to tell you they're getting weaker. Yeah. That's powerful right there. And okay, now tell me, what's your method to actually get them to completely go? I mean, is it just the salt and it pushes them out, or is it something you have to do?
So with the salt, what I'll do, I'll use this blue light.
Okay.
Because this will, when I search the walls at night, it will show me where the salt is. It will show me that barrier.
Oh, okay.
And if I get that salt on an entity or something, I'm hoping that it would show up in this blue light, so I actually see a manifestation.
Have
But
you ever?
all I've seen so far are just orbs, just like bright orbs.
Oh wow, but still.
And then with the salt, I'll notice, the orbs are getting a lot dimmer, a lot weaker. So I know it's working. And where they go, I don't know, but I know they're out of the house. So
Yeah. Hey, right. It doesn't matter where they go as long as they're out of the house.
I know they moved on to whatever they believed in. So
Yep.
Now, has it ever not worked?
no.
No.
Yeah.
5, dude. He's 5 for 5. It does. Of course, it always works.
I want you to ask a question. I asked my question.
I'm sorry. I have to cost him on him. Derek is the person that we have to make fun of the whole entire time that we're on this podcast. So, John, by all means, make fun of him with me. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, no. Of course it worked. He has 5 for 5. But anyway, so now, what do you like? Do you do a prayer? Like, do you do any prayers for protection after the fact? No, nothing. You just do the salt, the blue light, and literally you do a couple obviously sessions and stuff to see, to communicate. But do you ever have to coax those spirits to go, or they just go on their own?
No, I tell them they're going. I said, no matter what you do, you're leaving. When I come back in an hour, that's usually the last part of the investigation. I'm like, you're gone, because I can tell by the spirit box how weak they're getting. I can tell by the energy they're emitting. Because I can feel them trying to draw it from me, and they can't get it from me because I have that barrier over me. And I always make sure my clients are protected too, so there's nowhere to get that energy, And, I always try to make sure, like I said on the AM talk show host, make sure the fire detectors and the carbon monoxide detectors are all working properly, because that radon and stuff can cause hallucinations and stuff. So, I always do the basic stuff to make sure it's going to be a legitimate investigation. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't blame you. Okay, so let's see. Man, you totally boggled my mind with that. I really thought that you were gonna do some kind of something more than just that, and like it was gonna be this intricate thing you were gonna talk about that is like complex. And I'm gonna have to get my notepad out and stuff.
Dude, it's that simple, and when I started my research, I started with Einstein's theory on ghost hunting. There's an article out there that I read that the energy keeps moving. Energy keeps moving, and I know how. I think I know how we get from here to there. I'm not gonna release that because that's the one thing I have that if somebody steals this, tries to do it, I'll be like, well,
don't.
How do you know it works? Because I know,
Yeah, don't release it. That's something for you. Man, I just had a question I wanted to ask. Okay, so you have any questions? I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
I already asked it, but
you
just shattered it.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been 40. Oh, it is 45 minutes. You should be warmed up by now.
Yeah, right. No, what the heck? Okay, so what I wanted to ask you was, does this work on any spirit, or is this just working on just say negative energy? I mean, will this work on every spirit that's in the house? Do you kick every spirit out, or is some stay? I mean, how does
so everything that has been bothering these people, I've gotten rid of. Okay. I tell them you're gonna move on. If you want to go toe to toe with me, I'll spray you in the face.
Excuse me, sorry. Is this gonna kick grandma and grandpa out of the house though? That's what I'm getting at.
So they're, like I said, their ashes have been in almost all of these locations, or some type of object that's been, attached to, that they attach themselves to.
Yeah.
But, I spray that object, they're stuck in there. If they want them back, they could wipe it off. I'm sure might come back. I don't suggest it to them.
No, no, because then it leaves that portal open. Okay, I knew what question I was going to ask because I just said the word. Now, have you ever dealt with a place that had portals open,
I don't.
or
I
do
don't
you believe
see
in?
the portal thing. You know, I haven't really dealt with the portal. Like I said, these have been very strong entities. They've been poltergeists. They've been
Yeah.
things that have been thrown at people. These are old spirits, and I think they're just mostly trying to get the attention. They want to move on, and they don't know how.
Okay, now I need to ask you this question. In the poltergeist cases, is there any young girls in the house that live in the house, like young teenage girls or anything like that, that lived in any of the houses with the poltergeist? And there's a reason behind this. I'm gonna say, but
In the last in the California investigation, she had a younger daughter, but the other ones have not. No.
okay. The only reason why I was asking is because you know that obviously poltergeist can be caused by a young teenage girl whose emotions is wild. They actually, if they have abilities, they can actually move objects and stuff, and it looks like a poltergeist. So that's why I was asking if there was any, young teenage girls that were there, or young girls that were there, who may have had abilities that didn't even know they had abilities. You know what I mean? But you were getting stuff through the spirit box there, so it probably had nothing to do with that. But imagine if she did, you
Yeah,
know?
right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to the human body that we don't understand, but I really believe
That's my buddy Eric.
go Broncos, yeah.
Hey,
Uh,
Eric, Dallas Cowboys all the way. So I had to say that.
no, it's cool, man. No, I just I just do what I have to do, and the human body is an amazing thing, and based off the research, what we go through from this point to the next, it's really intense,
Yeah,
my end game, if I can keep this going and really dig into the science more, get supporters. If there's any paranormal equipment people that are out there that want to test their stuff, contact me, man. I would love to use your stuff and give you input, give you feedback, give you suggestions. Um, because I really have a grasp on this, and I my end game is to hopefully open a paranormal university, or
that,
get attached to a university where it actually becomes a science subject. I
that'd be
would love for you guys to be on the ride with that for me. So
oh,
hopefully it works out. We'll,
yeah.
we'll
I think
go on the journey together. So
hey, it starts off with just the class, and then after the class, it moves up. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good idea. I think we should definitely look into that. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you was, what is like the craziest thing that you've got in an investigation come through the spirit box after you've used the salt method?
just the fact that they were able to answer, and I said, "Are you getting weak?" And they're like, "Yes." Like you could feel they're they weren't as strong as they were. And the perfect example is that California one. Like when I first got there, I was there for less than an hour, and I put the spirit box in her room, and you hear clear as day a girl's voice come through. I said, "What is your name?" And at the time, I thought it said Katie, but we played it back, and it says Ingrid. And I knew then, after playing it back, or after she pointed it out, I was like, well, yeah, it's going to be an older spirit. So I knew it must have been tied to that graveyard, and she just was ready to move on,
Yeah,
because the next night, or I want to say the next day after that, after I sealed off the whole house and everything,
mhm.
you could hear her barely being able to say yes. I'm
Wow.
getting weak. Yes. It was like, yes. You could hear the raspiness, and like she was ready to move on. So
Wow. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. I mean, thank you so much for revealing that. That is awesome to know. I mean, who would ever thought putting salt in a water bottle and spraying it would even work? I mean, obviously I heard put the salt down on the floor, put salt around yourself. I mean, all this stuff.
And that was all part of the research, man. I mean, those were the things from different religions, everything. It was the one thing that everybody had in common. And I just started thinking, okay, so why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? And it's because it's just on the ground. They're just going to go over it. They can still manipulate through objects and stuff. And like I told you, it was 2 shows ago. I told you on there's that show Believers. The guy had a jar full of pennies, and one was like floating, and it showed the actual footage of it. And a spiritualist told him, go put it back where you found it and pour salt on it, and it immediately stopped. All the activity immediately stopped. You know?
Yeah.
So I know the proof's in the pudding, man. If you don't believe me, watch my videos. I'm not a rich man. I can't manipulate all this technology. So.
On that, you know, it's absolutely crazy though that like salt of all things affects the spirit world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I was just as surprised. Like I went into that first investigation totally unexperienced, totally, you know, and she was nervous. You know, I could tell, but I believed, you know, and I knew it would work. And when I started spraying her house, she's like, "Oh, I didn't do it like that," and I was like, "Yeah." So that's why it's still messing with you. So, you know, and releasing this information, you know, I can't get to everybody, you know. And I hope you take the methods seriously, you know, share it with your friends, share it with people that are having these experiences. Just do me the favor, just hit that subscribe button, you know, and then share it. I want you guys to be able to go out on investigations and feel safe and not be, you know, intimidated or get these things attached to you. You know, that's why I'm releasing it. But you know, we got to work together. I cannot help all these people that are on the internet. You know, if they're in your neighborhood or if they're in close to you, you know, give it a shot. I'm telling you, it will work.
Yeah, we will. We 100% will. We have there's actually a person that lives in a town called North Haven, and he was actually on that show Dead Files.
Yeah,
the cop, and he was actually on the show, and his house was pretty active. And I've been trying to get a hold of him to go in there and see if there's any more activity, or to see if Amy Allen really did what she was supposed to do and help him get rid of it. But if I do get a hold of him, I do come in, I want to have you come up to do the research with me. But I tell you, man, I'd love to try the salt there, and I'd love to try your methods there, because I bet you they'd see a big difference, you know? But
yeah, even today, I reached out to the lady in Hanover, Pennsylvania. She's been on the news, and even the news cameraman got scratched, and the anchor lady felt something tugging her and got pinched. You know, I reached out to her today because during that interview, she's like, we've lived here 5 years and we don't have the money to sell the house, so they've been living with it. You know, I reached out to her. I told her I can help you. You know, because she's had the house blessed, she's had the house saged, and she's done all the stuff that we normally do. So, you know, and I told her that
I watched that one, and that was serious. I watched that one, and that was pretty serious. All she wanted was help. You know, that's all she wants was help.
yeah. And if she's watching, hey Deanna, if you're watching, I'm ready for you. Just let me know. You know,
Guy right here, contact him. He can help you out big time. So if you're watching this, we wish you the best. We know that it's going to be all right. We know that if John gets up there, he will take care of it. He is a man of his word. So hopefully you're watching this. But John, we're getting close to the end. I wanted to, which sucks so bad because I have so many other questions. But I want you basically just to tell people what you got going on for the future again, and where basically you're looking to take this, and with this new YouTube channel of the how new section of the YouTube channel, the how to.
Yeah. So right now it is 7 p.m. So the how-to video is just being able to be released. So just go to my channel, JK-47 Paranormal Investigations on YouTube, and you can watch that. It's more in depth on how to do. I did my whole house pretty much, and you know, answered any questions. Like I said, you can comment on there. I'm real quick to comment. You can get on my Facebook. You can comment. But right now I got Arizona next, then I'm going to Michigan, and then I'm going to South Carolina. After that, man, my funds are pretty much depleted, but the best way you can help me out is just share this with your friends. Hit that subscribe button. If you can't make the donation, make YouTube do it. Because there's a certain amount of subscribers you have to get, a certain amount of watch hours. So help me out. I'm not asking for a lot. If you do want to donate as opposed to doing that, I got a GoFundMe. You just go to my Facebook page. There's a post on there with the link. So I'm all willing, ready. I've already quit my job. I'm all in on this. So
Yeah.
And there's something to say about that kind of commitment too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To quit a job
100%.
just to do what you
100%.
feel is right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had to test the shark suit out somehow. So the only way to do it is dive in. So
Definitely. Well, John, thank you so much for coming on. Again, we are going to have you on again. I can't wait to hear more about these investigations, especially when you come back on to hear about the investigation with the baby, because I want to hear what goes on and what takes place, because those videos that we showed tonight, I mean, still hit me in the gut just watching it, knowing that the child.
Me too. I'm just counting down the days, and I kind of get myself nervous, but then I put my faith back into my research and what's worked 5 for 5.
Well, John, thank you very much. Everybody, you can go and see him. Visit him at www.JK47paranormalinvestigations.com. You can also see him on YouTube at JK47 Paranormal Investigations. John, till next time, my friend, stay spooky.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
I'll talk to you soon, my man.
See you guys.
Take it easy, man.
So, everybody, yeah, that was Johnathan Keyworth from JK-47 Paranormal Investigations. Dude, that was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
That was crazy. And he's a solid dude.
Yeah, he is a solid dude, very solid. There's something that you don't find a lot in this paranormal field, and that's people who are legit, number one, and people. When I mean legit, I mean people who know what they're talking about, and also two. You don't find people with integrity a lot in this field. You find people with fake integrity where they say and do what you want to hear in the moment, and then all of a sudden they change and they're someone completely different. And since the moment I met John, he has been the most straight up individual that we could even ask for to deal with. I'm hopefully going to be going on an investigation with him in South Carolina. That one, I would love to go film with him on that one. So I'm going to try and make that happen, hopefully. But with everything going on in our life right now, it's a little difficult. But we're still going to make the time. We're still going to try our best to do it and get there. But once again, you can visit John at www.JK47paranormalinvestigations.com and also youtube.com. You could search JK47 Paranormal Investigations. And like he just said, he's having a how-to section that's about to show up right now on the YouTube channel as we speak. He has some previous investigations. His newer investigations are going to be coming on there. Check him out. He has a GoFundMe page. Like I said, he does all of this by himself. He pays for everything out of his own pocket. He's doing it just because he loves this and he loves helping people, which is just absolutely amazing. So if you can't help him out with the GoFundMe page, the easiest thing and the best thing you could do is just go on his YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. When you get a chance, watch a couple of videos, because believe it or not, that actually helps us as creators a lot. Helps us as paranormal research teams a lot, and really more than you know. So until next time, guys, we appreciate you watching. My name is AJ Capasso, and this is
Derek DeSorbo
from Coventry Circle Paranormal Podcast. Until next time, stay spooky, my friends.